I was actually going to read how these words happened, so I pulled out my 2014 technology and went with my next best bet, Traveling Through the Dark, which I read for the first time in Lex's Critical Methods class with another one of our lovely readers here, Andrea, and it's just one of those Stafford poems that really have stuck with me throughout the years as I've gone on and read other bits of his work and just really paid attention to the way his kind of words meld together and the way they really just kind of last with you long after you've read the poem and just keep recurring. Like when you're driving down the road in the middle of the night with a friend, you're like, hey, what if a deer was in the middle of the road like in Stafford's poem? Oh, yeah. So I'll be reading Traveling Through the Dark and then one of my own. Traveling through the dark, I found a deer dead on the edge of the Wilson River Road. It is usually best to roll them into the canyon. That road is narrow. To swerve might make more dead. By the glow of the tail light, I stumbled back of the car and stood by the heap. A doe. A recent killing. She had stiffened already, almost cold. I dragged her off. She was large in the belly. My fingers touching her side brought me the reason. Her side was warm. Her fawn lay there waiting, alive, still, never to be born. Beside that mountain road, I hesitated. The car aimed ahead its lowered parking lights. Under the hood purred the steady engine. I stood in the glare of the warm exhaust turning red. Around our group, I could hear the wilderness listen. I thought hard for us all, my only swerving, then pushed her over the edge into the river. Okay, now I'll read one of my own. It's also about death, unsurprisingly. I refuse to die wondering, words lingering with ghosted anticipation on the curve of parted lips, the dust of old anxieties glittering in the gloam of a final breath, its soft brush barely perceptible beneath fading edges of gold. Even now, in the quiet ways of moving, my blood whispers in steady passions, begs questions of a quickening pulse as if answers could be found in the silent still between heartbeat. If I make it last, stretch the vowels between the shadows of my palms, then perhaps you will know, in the knowledge of skin against skin, of light touch and fingertips, the cycle of you and I, dawning anew even as we disappear. Thank you.